Alright, so this is how this front mount's gonna look. We tacked the 2 supports in. Now we're welding a piece of angle iron. We got everything bolted in. That way that's where it's gonna stay. It's coming out good. Weld that bar to that. Okay.
All right, so on this spoiler, we had to put a relief cut in here because the bumper has like a whipple in it. And then this is gonna go up and we're gonna fiberglass that shut. So if you look at it, it ain't as bad now, but that side, that corner dips down, that one doesn't. That's because of that bumper is like that. So I'm gonna fix that. We bolted that on, that's bolted on. I'm gonna take the front end back off. Josh is gonna weld the forks, the little forks for the front. And that's about it. Then I gotta finish welding the support that goes across. And then we can mount it, leave it in place, and then start cutting the grill out and see how that fits. All right, so we got the nose off. I just finished welding all that. That's all bolted together. And I gotta make plates for the corners to hold the corners up. But that's all done. The locks are in each end. You got a lock on each end so it centers it. And then Josh is welding the little forks in place. And we're good to go. Alright, so those are all welded on. We're cleaning them all up. We're going to paint all that stuff, redo that. And then the motor's going in there. Out here. I got this on a flat surface so that right there sits flat. Ground it all up, made some holes. We're going to put some fiberglass on that and that. So they stay flat to the ground. Like that. It'll stay flat to the ground. Because the other way, it was pointing up in the air. Alright, give me some time. I'm going to do this fiberglass work real quick.
Alright, so we got our holes drilled. We're going to lay some fiberglass in here. That way this doesn't come apart.
Yeah. Well, not that it
come
apart.
apart, but
it looks like crap with the thing.
On the side here, when it's sitting in the car, the bottom piece hangs like way down. So trying to hold it in place. Let's see if you can kind of see the. When it's sitting on its own weight, it's not bad, but when it sits in,
stay just like that.
yeah, when it sits in the car though, it's like got a big gap like that. So
I need you to help me with just
we're
tape
gonna make
off.
it look just like this.
Hey,
what?
grab some tape off the front cracks in the front so I could pour this stuff in it with them.
Okay. All right, so that's how it's gonna come out. Looks like it should have been made like that. Make a little trough around it.
The reason you put holes in it is so that the stuff goes down in between something. You got something to bite to, because if you're just putting it on a flat surface, it ain't doing nothing. Like that.
Okay. Alright, so that's how that's gonna go. Okay, this front end is starting to come together. One's rolling away. There. Get the control arms on. Start putting the motor and everything in it. Getting it wired. After we get all this on. Okay. Alright, we're putting these shocks together. You got Viking shocks for the front, double adjustable. Some anti-seize on everything. What size springs are it?
125.
Alright, we'll kind of assemble these a little more and then
Let me put
show
them
them.
together and then.
Alright, we're putting the flywheel on. Put some Loctite on them. Before we tighten it all up.
Alright, so we got the water pump mounted. We got to get a different alternator bracket to mount it low.
The other one don't work?
The other one won't work because it mounts high and it's going to interfere with the motor
steering
plate. So we're going to put the motor in. Make sure we got enough room for a low mount in here, which I'm pretty sure we do. And then after that, I'm going to start with these headers. We got to get the nose back on it. Make sure that I'm going to try to fit the grill and stuff like that with it.
And then we'll have to cut out the hood.
Yeah,
still.
we're going to cut the hood to fit and all that. But I need to get this motor in here so I can start making these headers. Alright, so tranny's in, engine's in. We're gonna put the converter bolts in next. All this worked out really, really nice. Everything clears. Look at that. Even the drive shaft clears. Nice. Without even putting or lowering the car, which we're gonna probably end up doing once we let it down. Got the front end started. We're missing the brackets for the brake calipers. Motor pumps on, motor plates in place. Everything sits nice and flush, straight, which is a plus, huh? When stuff sits square, beautiful. All right, we're gonna keep working on this now. I'm gonna try making some headers now. We're gonna start on that. So headers next. And then we gotta hook up all these lines and coolers and all that stuff, but ain't no sense running that, and then the headers will be in the way. I mean, they'll be in the way for the headers. So, headers first. We'll run everything around. All right, here we go. All right. So, we need to order some tubing to make some zoomies. So these headers, they're nice, but they're welded together on the end, and there's no room. There's like no room. They like butted them up together and welded them. So we got to split the weld so that we can split the pipe, spread the pipes open, right? We'll spread them open, and then the new piping, the tubing that we're going to use, we'll swedge the ends to go over this, and then we'll make it like a slip joint on this whole thing, and then make the rest of the zoomies that go out the fenders, under the fenders. And then they'll be able to, we'll put like little tabs on each side, and we'll be able to slide this piece on and off. So if you want to take them off, you take this off and then take that off separate. And if it looks like we can leave them on, then we'll just leave them all the way on. But at this point, we got to swedge the end so we can get them together, because there's no way to weld them all the way around because they're going to be too close together. All right? So that's what I'm going to do now. So I gotta be careful not to cut through the tube. I'm gonna put a bigger disc on it so I go down between. This one got a little bit too small, so it's hitting the edges. And then I'll put a wedge in it like that. Clean up the sides. Clean up all the sides. And then what we'll do is we'll wedge each one. Bolt this to the head so it doesn't warp or nothing. And then we'll clean this up. Make sure these are nice and round. Clean the edges up and let it rip. All right? All right, so I got them all split. Now I'm gonna wedge something in between them so I can get all the edges and clean up the, you know, right on the edges where the welds are. All right, so got them all done. All right, got them all separated. I'll have enough room to get 2 pipes in between each one, right? Now we're gonna order some U-bends so that we have enough to make the little curls up around the fender, under the door and the fender, and we should be good. All right, then we'll just be cutting those all on the right angle and aiming them the right way and whatnot. They're gonna look pretty cool. All right, catch you on the next part of this thing.